Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Have you experienced lower back pain in the past 3 months? Well, if so, you're not alone. In fact, about 39% of the US adult population has experienced lower back pain in the past 3 months. 13.1% of adults are experiencing a chronic or persisting lower back pain, and about 8% of adults here in the US are experiencing this chronic back pain, so much so that it's preventing them from daily activities. So if you fall into any of these categories, I got your back in today's video, where I'm going to give you some simple tactics in this two-prong approach to lengthening overactive muscles and strengthening those underactive muscles. And then you might be asking yourself, well, how did this lower back pain come about? Well, surprisingly enough, one of the most contributing factors to lower back pain is sitting, right? And here in North America, we are master sitters, right? So when we sit, our hip flexors become tight, our core muscles become weak, and over time, this can lead to lower back pain. So, hey, sit tight, watch the video, practice these at home, and hopefully this will lead you on a path to a pain-free life. All right, the first step here is to lengthen. So the most common muscle that's going to contribute to lower back pain is the hip flexors, right? The things on the front part of your hips. So this is one of my favorite go-to stretches. It's called a static 90-90 kneeling hip flexor stretch. You can easily do at home, at the workplace, anywhere that you might be sitting for long periods of time that you need to break up. So it's simple to execute. So you'll be getting on the ground. Now, we'll say if the surface that you're kneeling on is rough, you can simply put a pillow or something soft under the supporting knee so that you're not, hurting those knees. So you want to get about 90 degrees here and on the front leg. Keep your torso tall. You want to squeeze this back hip, squeeze this glute, this butt cheek. Keep your torso tall. Don't lean forward. Instead, slightly lean into this knee until you feel the stretch. Once you feel the stretch, you need to hold this for 30 seconds. I would recommend doing 2 to 3 sets, 30 seconds on each side. Now that we've lengthened our overactive muscles, our hip flexors, let's get into the strengthening. Now, the strengthening is going to involve two different exercises. One is going to be for the glutes, and the other is going to be for your core musculature, specifically all the little muscles that are around your hips and spine. That'll help to stabilize your spine, and it'll help to support your spine in removing lower back pain. So the first one is the glutes, right? This one's important because when you're sitting all day, the glutes are in a lengthened position and they become underactive and weak. Therefore, they don't hold the hips in a proper position, which means your hips are going to slightly tilt forward, and it's going to cause the lower back to be in pretty much a chronically hyperextended state. So again, this one you can perform at home. It's pretty simple to do. You got to get down to the ground, and we're going to execute a few sets of floor bridges. Okay, this is going to be a simple strengthening exercise to get your glutes stronger. So you'll be laying on your back. You're going to get your heels under your knees. You're going to put your palms up so you can relax your head and shoulders back. And then your feet are hip width apart. You're going to drive through the heels, tucking your hips under. You want to squeeze your glutes tight at the top, hold for a few second count, and come down slow and controlled. Driving up through the heels, squeezing glutes, holding for a few count, and coming down slow and controlled. You'll be performing that exercise for 2 to 3 sets for anywhere between 12 to 20 repetitions. But certainly not least in our strengthening portion of our lengthen and strengthen combo is the Pallof press. Now this will require a piece of equipment. This is a 1/2-inch resistance band, also known as a pull-up assistance band. And you can perform this easily at home as well. You just want to anchor the band to something sturdy that's not going to move on you. You simply are going to create a loop on the object that you're going to be attaching the band to, and you're going to loop it through. Now, this is an anti-rotational exercise to get all those core muscles that I was just talking about nice and strong. So you're going to step a few feet away from where the band is anchored. Obviously, the further that you stand out, the more challenging this exercise will become. So this is your first time doing it. Start with a modest distance so you can execute with proper form. So you're going to get your feet about hip width apart. You're going to do a fist over fist grip and pull right to where your sternum is. Make sure your ribs are tall and your shoulders are pulled back and pushed into your back pockets. The next thing is you want to squeeze your glute or butt as tight as you can. Once all those are set into place, you're going to extend the band out in front of you and hold. It is focus on your deep breathing in through nose, out through mouth, and definitely keeping your glutes tight, as this going to help to stabilize the hips and spine. For this exercise, you're going to perform anywhere between 2 to 3 sets, starting at maybe 10 seconds if you've never done it before, and then working your way up to 20, 30, maybe even 45 seconds on each side. All right, So again, do all 3 of those daily if you are falling into those categories of lower back pain. And I guarantee if you are consistent, you will see a massive positive impact on your lower back health. If you have any further questions on anything I addressed today, drop in the comments below. And as always, I appreciate the likes and the shares. Tag somebody that maybe is experiencing lower back pain and needs to see this video. All right, stay tuned. Until the next video, this is Coach Jeff.